our sovereign, infinite self. An essay by James Mahu. Question: why is the physical, material world so magnetic that we seem unable to shift our attention to our inward self, that part that you call the infinite self or sovereign integral? Answer: we are creatures born of survival. In order to survive, we had to tune our senses and entire consciousness upon the goal of survival, or we, as a species, would die out within 100 generations. A species can devolve more rapidly than it can evolve if its survival is unmatched to its physical environment. The human species, unlike others, had the ability to survive amidst the harvest of environments. It did this because of its ability to tune its consciousness to survival. To marshal group consciousness, creating civilizations and culture, even before the invention of the wheel. We have become, as a result of technology, less concerned about survival and more about thriving within civilization and culture. Allowing our passions and creativity to flourish amid the exponential growth of human-invented technologies. We are thus split between the worlds of survival and all of its frustrations and incessant lessons, and the world of fleshing out our unique personality, aspirations, and curiosities. This split is widening as we age. The two worlds are competing for our attention. The ratio of dominance, for most people, leans heavily upon physical survival. This is where we place our attention, and for good reason. Without the survival question answered, the passion and creativity side will never exist in dominance. It will not become an equal reality that partners with our survival reality. In other words, instead of being frustrated and angry at it, we see it as a necessary balance as we venture into the understanding of our deepest self. The magnetics of physical reality are a result of our consciousness, over hundreds of thousands of years, adapting to the function of survival in order to evolve a version of itself that is adapted to physical reality, while enabling it to express itself as a spiritual being within the physical realm. This is becoming our state of consciousness, not in one lifetime, but in tens of thousands of lifetimes. We, as a spiritual consciousness, adapt to the physical dimensions of space-time and duality, free will, separation, and survival. All of these factors impinge upon our consciousness the moment we embody, and those survival instincts that are simply an innate part of our physical body step in, and they guide us. They become our stewards, guardians, and teachers. They even become our family and sense of home. We become a fixture of the culture we live in, and the old adage that the last thing a fish notices is water becomes a truth. Once survival is achieved and we reach a state of relative maturity, we can relax a bit and allocate more time to our passions and creativity. This holds for both the individual and the species at large. We can begin to dive within as the outside world becomes less of a threat to our survival. The alternative is to become comfortable and lazy, and we instinctively know that this is not who we are. If we were meant to be comfortable and lazy, we would not have embodied within space-time. There is a reason that everyone has embodied. We have chosen to experience embodiments in space-time and create our own local universe. The creation of a local universe is unimaginably intricate and creative, enmeshed in an infinite diversity of universes, each local and subjective. And yet few of us realize this, and thus, we're unable to appreciate this creative ability we each possess. We might berate ourselves that we lack emotional control, intellectual capacities, spiritual knowledge, and financial means, yet we have created our local universe. We have created it through an infinite number of choices. Just as a sculptor makes a million strikes of a chisel to reveal the hand that emerges from within the block of marble, we do this every single day of our life. Our local universe emerges like a sculpture from a block of wood or stone. Our chisel marks are the decisions we make from the intentions of our behaviors and beliefs. The physical world of space-time duality is real. It is absolutely real, but it is not solely physical. And that is the whole point of embodiment, to come to this realization. To understand that what is before us as a physical thing is also a non-physical thing. And what is behind the non-physical thing is the interconnectedness that all things are a part of. And what is behind that is unknown, we only know it to be infinite and in the clearest sense, non-existent. Non-existence is a part of duality. The thing that interconnects us is not dual in nature, and this is precisely why our senses, our body, our minds, even our hearts, are tuned to the dual nature of space-time. And this is how our local universes are connected. We created the points of interaction so we can collectively decide to move to a new understanding of who we are. The thing that we are is entirely unimaginable to our tuned space-time consciousness. It doesn't see it, hear it, feel it, or even desire it. The world of survival is born into us from a chain of ancestry we barely grasp. The lingering question is, how do we unravel ourselves from this instinctive, DNA-driven perception that survival is our guide? Maybe a passion or two is allowed in our lives, but generally, the prospect of experiencing and expressing who we truly are is slim to none. How do we lift those odds? How do we remember who we are? This is done through behavioral coherence. Behavioral coherence, as I define it, is the ability to align the imaginative, mental, emotional, and behavioral aspects of our human self with the love-centered kindness of our infinite self. It is to be love and kindness without condition to the best of our ability in our local universe. If we do this, even as we figure out our survival, how to express who we are, and how we can become a human expression of our infinite self, we can then become increasingly aligned to the project. And this project is the one whose arc is without beginning or end, as mind-warping as that is. This project is what pulls us from the riveting nature of physical reality and awakens us. This project is the one in which we are flowing between dimensions. When we have no riveting of our attention for the sake of survival or group identity, we see ourselves as all things coordinated into one thing, and that is coordinated within all things of a higher dimension, and this latter is as infinite as we are. Our realization of this project is part of our local universe. It is a part of everyone's. Not all of us desire to activate this realization in our local universe. We are more like scientific voyeurs who want to see it in others first. See how they do it. How they prescribe for others what they have done. Yet, this is already within our local universe. We always carry it with us. It is us. That part that is whole. And because it is whole, and survival dictates that we perceive the parts, wholeness has become unobserved. But it remains observable. We simply have to practice behavioral coherence to see it. This is what unlocks the infinite self long enough for us to glimpse it. To feel it move our hands. To observe through our eyes. To hear its voice through our mind. We learn through this behavioral coherence how to remodel our local universe and to identify the point of interaction with all other local universes. This is the project we all came to serve. Not a single one of us, across all species, has an alternative fundamental purpose. Each of us is an artist of unimaginable creative power that has been subdued by a DNA-driven consciousness tuned to survive. If we desire to awaken to this idea, then behavioral coherence is a way to awaken so we can appreciate who we are, why we chose to be here, and how we can remodel our local universe to become more of a reflection of our infinite, sovereign self.